Welcome to We Talk 101, where conversation meets ideas, ideas meet thoughts, and we bring it all to you. Here at We Talk 101, it's all about men's mental health. I know for all those men that never get the enough I thank yous, the enough I love yous, the enough appreciations for all the hard work you do, man, we're here with you. We're here to sort it out. We're here to make sure that your voices are heard, your thoughts are thought of, and your ideas are met. We are here to make sure that you are appreciated, you are loved, and you are appreciated for what you do best and what you put on that table. You know that round table women say that this table, we want to talk about what is meant to be on that table. So welcome to We Talk 101, where we make everything meet.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching us. Welcome to We Talk 101. My name is Atijuka Joanna Irene, and I'm a computer science student at the International University of East Africa. As we talk about mental health today, we are talking about breaking the silence, right? We are talking about speaking up. We are talking about breaking the bubble, getting out of that cocoon. How important is it? Why are you doing it? How do you do it? How do you start? Thank you.
Hi, of course, I'm your usual suspect, Kets. That's very double there is my name. Software engineer, event promoter, and manager. Yeah, that's me. So here today we are here about to talk about breaking the silence, as you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Basically, what's this topic all going to be about? You should expect that we're going to talk about, as men, we are always silent about certain random things. And what are those random things? I have someone that I buried yesterday. I literally can't talk about it. I have my dad that died years ago, and we can't talk about it. So we're here to make sure that we break that silence. You know, you ladies make it very difficult for us to break that silence. So we are here to show you that we can co-exhibit these things and make sure that we can break the silence as men. So, as you heard the theme, it's breaking the silence.
Right.
And as men, it's very difficult. So I know as a lady, it might be a problem for you to understand what it means by breaking the silence.
I can't say I relate, but I will try to understand.
So the silence you're talking about is the battles that we fight in silence that we do not always show out to people. Many of you see us with a smile on our face and you're like, oh wow, this guy never faces problems.
Right.
But it's funny how I would say that I'm smiling right now, but I'm trying to forget one thing. I'm trying to forget that I didn't grow up with a father. I'm trying to forget that I have my mom who's at home and she's trying to hustle on her own with no one to help her out, you know.
Right.
I'm trying to be silent in all those battles. And at night I'm having sleepless nights, having to wake up in the morning, face myself with a smile and show as if everything's okay. I put on a facade, pretend that everything is okay, whereas things aren't going as smooth as I think they are. So for you might be having someone in your life and you look at them, they're always energetic, always smiling. Have you ever thought for a moment and sat down with that person that you truly care about and ask him, how are you doing really? How are you?
Well, I do not remember the last time I did that, but I think it comes in moments that are not planned. When you sit down with someone and you're just talking about life, random topics, and it just comes around, probably when they become comfortable with you, because you can't, sometimes I feel like it's hard for someone to open up when you just tell them, talk to me, what are you going through? It will not be easy for someone to open up. But if you sit down and you're just having a normal conversation, you know, it's moving smoothly, like unplanned, you're unveiling parts of your life that you and that person need to discover about each other, then it comes along the way. So I don't remember the last time I did have such an encounter, but it does so happen when it's unplanned. Yeah.
So my question will be to you, when you hear the term break the silence, as a lady in your thoughts, what do you think? What runs in your mind?
Well, do you want me to give you the female version or the general version?
The female version.
Well, for the female version, I've come to understand that it depends on what you're talking about, because some things are really hard to break the silence as a female, because you're going to talk about things like sexual harassment and someone will tell you like, well, look at your body, what do you want men to do? Like, okay, so it's my problem that they are doing that, you understand. So for females, I've come to understand that it depends on what they are talking about. If it comes to mental health, if it comes to family, then those people may not say much of it's your fault. But when you're talking about things like, oh, I have to look for money, especially when you're sharing it with a guy, they'll look at you and they're like, you're a girl, what are you thinking about this? And I'm like, okay, does that mean I shouldn't think about making my own money? Like, is it supposed to come from the sky? Am I supposed to wait for my Prince Charming to come and marry me with all his money? So breaking the silence for females really depends on what you're talking about and the topic that it's handling.
Well, I just want to take you back a few minutes back to one of the statements you just stated, where a girl comes out and says she wants to make her own money. And you see, it's very funny. This is something that has came to thought. Ladies come out and say they want to make their own money to feel independent.
Right.
But for us as men, when we say we want to start making money, immediately we make that first pack. Our mind rushes back to the one we left at home. It runs back to, oh shit, my girl needs flowers. You get what I'm trying to say?
Right.
So it shows that we are there thinking of you every step of the way.
Right.
But that's where the problem comes in. We think of you as much as we think of you, but at the end of the day, you come out and say, these guys are not so appreciative. These guys don't treasure us. These guys this and that and that. But everything we do, most of the time, it's for you guys, honestly.
Right.
It's for you guys. But I think it's a very difficult thing for you people to understand. For you to just come out and be like, I want to make my money because I want to feel independent. I want to beg a man for his money and all of that. Why do you always have to say those sort of words? What is it? Is it because we were raised to say that men are meant to be the providers?
Well, you could say that, but I think for starters, it depends on the person, on the lady, because I am a firstborn. The reasons I have for wanting to make my own money might be different from other girls, you know. I have siblings looking up to me, you know. I have, like, my parents are growing old, and as a firstborn, and like you've grown up with that statement of everyone is looking up to you, you know, you have to be the example for everyone, you have to make it in life. So for me, it's different. It comes with so much pressure, but I understand what you're trying to say when you say most ladies say they want to make their own money because of independence. And from the few conversations I've had with some of the ladies that say that, it comes from these incidences where you find a guy is providing for the lady, and the day she makes a mistake, the guy is like, I picked you up from where you were, you know, you wouldn't be here without me. So I think some of the ladies try to avoid that. Like, I don't want him to say that to me, that I am because you are. And some of them want to create that kind of security. But then I've also come to understand that some of the ladies don't really appreciate the guys enough. Like, yes, there is that kind of entitlement of, yeah, the guy has to provide and whatnot, but you find that it's not rare, but it's not put so much into consideration to be like, oh, this guy has really put in effort to think about my future with him, to make me happy, to take care of his family and take care of me as well. So I think it goes back to the person as well, but I also feel like men need to be appreciated more for what they do, regardless of whether or not they're supposed to be providers. Yeah.
Really, it's very funny. We're talking about mental health, but one way or the other, this is a very vivid topic.
Right,
it's a
it
very
is.
vivid one that it takes you either to relationships, it takes you to family issues, trauma, and all of that. But I just want to take you back again, where you said it's a very you said about a man who comes up and says, I picked you from, I made you who you are. And that's a very funny one, because
You are because I am.
Because it's also funny that sometimes we say those things not out of frustration,
Right.
but because of where we've come from. But it's funny how you say that out as a lady, and you forget that you as ladies, you own that title even more. For a lady, immediately something goes wrong, and she's like, okay, I bought you toothpaste.
Oh my days.
It's even worse for ladies, because I mean, So it becomes a bigger problem. Now, this is why I tell you that the topic of mental health, especially for the men's side, is very vivid. That it also comes back around.
Right.
You know, you have to be there, very worried that in times that me and her break up, she will not take out all the bad days that I had with her. You know? It hurts whenever a man breaks down and opens up to you, and at some point you have to use that to your advantage.
Right.
You know, you know what it means when you open up to a lady and you tell her how you really feel, and within days she has already started cutting ties with you. You know how it feels when you tell a lady that at work things are moving well, at home things are moving well, and she's like,
I'm out of here.
I'm not gonna be dealing with this drama and all of that.
Right.
And you're like, okay, what were you in it for?
Right.
I just want to get the clear meaning of what is love for you ladies.
Well, before I step into that, I want to talk about that a bit. I feel like sometimes ladies forget that men are human as well, you know, just because, and it all comes back to society, because society has spoken so much about, oh, men have to be strong, men do not show their emotions, as a man you shouldn't cry. Like, what do you mean? These are humans the way we are. They have spirits, they have souls, they get exhausted, they get tired, they get hurt, you know. And for a lady to say, I have to move because this guy has shown me, and personally I don't think a guy expressing his emotions or his like breaking down is a weakness. I feel like it's just him being vulnerable, and I don't know, but I find it fascinating that people do not understand the strength that is in vulnerability. That by the time someone is able to be vulnerable around you, it's just showing how strong they are and how they trust you with their emotions. Because I believe for a person that has grown up in society that says you shouldn't show your emotions, for someone to be able to break down in front of you is them trusting you with their emotions. And I feel like that's something ladies should treasure, because it didn't happen as often. He could easily go and drink himself mad and come back when he's fine, and you would never know. But for him to break down like that, it shows that he trusts you. So I feel like people should change their perspective, basically, not follow society as much. And for the definition of love, love, it has, I don't know what way to define it. I feel like love doesn't have a definite definition. It has a lot of aspects to it. It's sacrifice, it's communication, it's wanting to stay even when you have 1,000 reasons not to. It's finding that one reason that could keep you moving. Love is being vulnerable, trust, sacrifice. It's a lot. I can't just define it in just one statement. Well, it has layers.
Well, this morning, I'm sure you checked my status. Just in case, I think I posted something about that sort of what is love.
Right.
And when the person explained, she mentioned that there are two sorts of loves. There's a person that can say, I love you, and they are willing to be committed for being with you throughout thick and thin. Then there's a person that says, I love you, I want to sleep with you tonight. Immediately after that, I no longer love you.
Oh, that's not love.
So, it's
that's not love.
It's actually love.
That's not love.
It's actually love. I mean,
oh my days.
This conversation right now, but I mean, it's actually love one or the other. But the true definition of love, it speaks to within yourself. You can never understand what commitment is if you do not have the true definition of what love is.
Right.
So, in order to understand what love is, or what communication is, or what dedication, vulnerability, all of that is, it's supposed to go through what love is. Sometimes I can love you and I don't want to have sex with you. I don't want to have kiss. I don't want you to be on my lips or anything like that. But I love you because I'm able to be myself with you. I love you because I'm able to say all the weird shit I feel like saying every time.
Right,
and
you're comfortable.
I'm much more comfortable saying them. You know, I love you because you know who I truly am, that other people don't know, you know. So I think that's what defines love. But as we continue talking,
so allow me to take you back to the main point of us being here, opening up. I want to understand your perspective of opening up.
My perspective of opening up.
Yes.
Well, as a man, there are many perspectives of opening up.
Mm-hmm.
I can say that I'm open to you, unless I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
I can, it's very difficult. As a man, we open up to the little bits that we want you to know,
Right, right.
because it's not that easy to just open up to someone. There are certain times where we feel like we want to open up, but we feel that, man, this chick is just trying to play me for, you know, she's just trying to let my cards out, let my cards
Mm-hmm.
down, so that she can play me and all of that. So
So,
I make sure that I open up to you,
mm-hmm.
to the only you that opens up to me.
Okay.
The amount of times you open up to me is the amount of times I open up to you.
So it's more like reciprocating.
Exactly.
And what if you meet someone that does not easily open up? Does that mean you also do
I
not
would
open up? Wow. So is that because you do not want to be judged, or you just want to be in a middle play field?
No, it's because, you see, as a man, the moment you start to judge me, that's another story.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't feel like I'm ready to be judged for who I am. I've lived my life, I've done all that I've done,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not gonna be judged by some weirdest that just comes out of nowhere and tries to judge me.
Because I feel like when you say I will open up according to the level that you open up, then there must be something that is stopping you from opening up first. What is that is stopping you?
No, it's the history that I have.
Mm.
Have
History from?
Have you ever thought of the trauma we face as men?
Not really.
That's
Take
the
me
point.
through.
A man that grows up without a father
Mm-hmm.
has many trauma. You know why? He has no one to speak to. And the moment he gets a person to speak to, it's always that perfect girl that has a father at home or has a mother at home, you know?
Right.
And it won't be easy for me to open up to you. You know why? You'll be like, hmm? The moment I say I've sold drugs, you'll be like, at home
He's
they will
not
not
the
allow
one.
this guy. You know? The moment I say to you that I have hustled, I've sold plastics through the streets of Kampala, you'll be like, okay,
Not my type.
not my type. The moment I tell you I tie hair, you're like, okay, shit. You?
Bad man.
So red flag already. So with ladies, red flags are always there ready to be raised every single time.
Right.
So that's why we do not just open up as per se. We open up once you have opened up to us. That's what we call vulnerability. I'm open to you once I feel vulnerable to you.
Yeah, but now, if that vulnerability we are talking about depends on another person, then I feel like you have not yet owned it yourself. Because I feel like some of these aspects should not really depend on someone. For a person to be able to speak up, to reach that level of comfortability, whereby when something bothers you and you feel like keeping it in will do more harm than letting it out, and you're like, when I get a chance to, I'll let it out. I feel like that shouldn't depend on someone, whether or not someone is around you, because okay, this is a bit hypothetical, but let's imagine you are on an island alone. Then what do?
Oh,
Someone could say, oh, I'll talk to myself. But let us say they bring you this one person and this person does not open up, but you feel it boiling. It's like you want to let it out. Will you sit back and wait for this person to open up, or you will just take the initiative?
well, as a man, I can lock myself in a room and scream
Mm-hmm.
than being in a room with a person that I don't trust.
Right, right.
I would rather be isolated than showing myself to a person I don't trust.
Mm-hmm.
Trust is key.
Okay, so
Because
it's all
I've told
about
you,
trust.
it's all about trust. I've
Okay.
told you of times we open up to women and they use that to their advantage. And that's not what we want.
Mm-hmm.
We want where you have leverage on me and I have leverage on you. I don't mean that we are supposed to have leverage, but what I'm trying to say is that
Mm.
I know your good side and you know my good side. I know your bad side so you can know my bad side.
Okay.
So that you don't judge me.
So,
For example, I can give you
mm-hmm.
a lady has had 6 abortions,
Mm-hmm.
and I see her, I'm gonna like her. A man has made 6 ladies have 6 miscarriages. When a lady sees her, what is the judgment that's coming up?
He's not a good
Are you
man.
seeing where everything is going?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, with ladies, some of these things we men just simp offer it, and you're like, okay,
Right.
it's good. But ladies hold it in. So I can tell you my bedside until I know your bedside. And I won't be open to you until you are open to me. How do you feel that we're in the same school studying, and all of a sudden my parents didn't pay school fees and
Right.
yours did, and next thing you know I'm being kicked out of school,
Because of
and you do
school
not know
fees.
the reason why. You later learn that it was because of school fees.
Talk to me.
You see, it's like talk to me, but I mean,
Like some things you do not really have to wait. Now, for such a situation, you don't need to have to wait for someone that you trust.
oh,
Because let's imagine they are not there. Because I've been in situations whereby there is this person we had actually this is an example that I know, a guy we studied with, but were very many, so not all of us really knew him like that. And exams were coming, his tuition was not cleared. But they came in a group and they're like, we studied with this guy. He needs this money. If you guys can contribute, I can assure you. Some of us don't even remember his face, what he looked like, but people contributed money. So for some situations, you do not need to wait for someone to trust you. Some things just need to be done.
no, those are some things, but some things are meant to
Mm,
be kept into
I
ourselves.
understand. I
Not
understand.
everything that is going to be happening in our life, we're going to run to strangers and be like, oh, things
Definitely.
are moving well with us.
Mm-hmm.
I told you, I grew up without a father.
Right.
And with me growing up without a father, I'm seeing things happening. I've dealt with many things on my own.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes no sense for me to come to you and be like, Joanna, ABCD is happening. What should I do?
I
The time
understand.
I come to you, that means that I've literally no other option. And
It's the
that
last.
will, you know, when that will happen, that will only happen when I feel very, very much connected to you.
Right.
Until then, I would just keep it in.
Okay. So something I want to understand. In situations when there is no one that you trust enough to share some of those things, what do you do? Do you journal? Do you go for a walk and talk to yourself? Do you just lay in your bed and just let the thoughts run you mad? What do you do in such
Well, in
situations?
situations where I feel like I need to be heard, it's when I sit down, grab my pen, grab my
Mm,
paper, and write some poetry.
I've seen your
I
poetry,
just
really
sit
good.
down and write my poetry.
Right, right.
Through my poetry is where I express how things are going in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Through my poetry is where I express what I really want. You know? And many people keep thinking that my poems are just written out of fun, out of other people's situations. But
Mm-hmm.
99% of my poetry is written off of my situations. So when we begin with the mask, the mask martial, when we go to the mask facade, all of those poetry, all those a home I never had, all of those are written according to how my life has been.
And I feel like as time has moved, people have left the arts sector behind. And I feel like those are some of the things that we need in our lives to settle our minds in such situations. Things like music, people are now so engulfed in social media that we have forgotten about that. But it's really good that you express it in that way.
Well,
Mm.
that's wonderful. But we reached a certain point, and earlier. So you asked about the creativity these days and how
Mm-hmm.
much we need that these days. Well, I'd say the poetry is still good. It's still alive. It's just that give it less attention
Right, right.
nowadays. It's just
Mm-hmm.
like when we say listening to soprano, yeah? Classic music.
Mm-hmm.
The people that listen to that nowadays are very little,
Very
but
few.
yet the musicians are still there. Same with poetry. I feel that we need poetic justice when it comes to us
Definitely.
poets.
We definitely
Exactly.
do.
So I just want to let you know that sometimes I did say I do get my pen and paper and write poetry, but there are sometimes where things really exceed my limits, where I feel that I can't even pick a pen of paper in my hands and write.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels very um, I don't even know how to explain it. Like literally, it feels it's you're in a situation where you feel very helpless and you
Mm-hmm.
can't really get out of it, and it really pisses you off to
Right.
the extent that everything you touch, you just want to rip it apart.
Want to punch the
I just
wall.
want to punch someone. I actually remember some days ago, I punched the wall, and I was with a bandage. I think for some very large period.
Oh my
I'm very
days.
sure the Akim saw
Can
that.
you
Yeah,
not break
I
your
was I was with a
bones?
bandage for some very large period
Mm-hmm.
because I felt that things were like literally. I felt very frustrated, and the person that frustrated me the most was a person I never expected to frustrate me. But
It's always the ones you don't
yeah, it's
expect.
always the ones you don't expect. That it's very funny. The knife never hurts when you are stepped from the
But
back.
when you're pulling it out,
Exactly. But the moment you turn around and see who stepped you, it's when you realize that
ouch.
this ouch has to be a really big ouch. Yeah. I don't know if you're allowed to curse, but I'll curse. So anyway, anyway,
Might flag the video.
anyway, yeah, it really gets really agitated. So I don't know. I just find myself sitting down in those situations and let my mind think it through. I think of what made me angry
Mm-hmm.
because it's very funny. I want to say this while I look to that camera. For all the men that are out there fighting all those battles, it's very funny. You may be angry today because Joanna might have slapped you. Joanna might have
I don't
Joanna
beat
might have cheated on
men.
you or something, and you are angry. And you reach to the core that your anger level has reached the atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
But what's very funny? I've come to realize that sometimes that anger doesn't come because of Joanna. For us men, that anger comes when we remember about certain situations that we're in back in the day that we are also in right now.
Mm-hmm.
For example,
It pulls back the
it pulls
history.
back the history.
Mm-hmm.
Now all that history collides all together in one. I sit down nowadays whenever I feel frustrated and look for the actual reason as to why I'm frustrated. This was something I did not learn in therapy because I think I'm a person that would say, "You'll forgive me." To all the therapists out there, you forgive me, but this is my personal thought that therapy doesn't work when the therapist has lower IQ than you.
Right.
Yeah, I'll say this
Right.
again:
Of course.
therapy will never work for you unless whenever the therapist has lower IQ than you. So to take you back to what I'm talking about right now, you sit down and you ask yourself, why am I angry?
Mm-hmm.
I know once you are seated down, your mind will tangle around. Joanna did this, Joanna did that, and Yakim did this and this, blah, 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 blah. But once you get to the core of where the anger comes from, you realize that you are angry because you never grew up with a dad. You realize that you are angry because while you were young, you had to do something in order to get money for home to be kept
It's
with.
trauma
You know,
coming back.
it's the trauma just somehow comes back to haunt you.
Mm.
You know, um,
And it's so sad that some people don't really take the initiative, and that doesn't apply to only men as well, by the way. It also applies to women. um People do not take time to do shadow work, because when you study, when you read psychology, you come to understand that yes, some things happen to you. You feel these emotions of anger and frustration. Your mind might forget, but your body does not forget. So when something brings back all that, there is a memory coded into your body, into
yeah,
your mind, and it brings them all back. They come flashing back, and you feel so angry. And that's why you find that they are always telling us to do shadow work. Go back to the past. See things that trigger certain situations in you. Because sometimes something simple will happen and you find yourself being angry or frustrated, and you ask yourself why. You do not know. But when you go back and do shadow work and understand the root cause of this thing, then that's when you can start, conquering it. Because just doing therapy is just like a glaze on top. But what we need is really that deep shadow work to find out the root and destroy it. So it's not only men, it's for everyone. But I believe men go through it more because of how they do not easily open up to these situations. They do not easily open up to talks about mental health. Some of them, I have male friends that believe mental health is, what do they call it? It's a myth. They don't believe that it's real. They just actually, and it's so sad that some of them come to a statement of, as Africans, we do not have such things. Those are people, those are things people have picked from the white people. And you ask yourself, do you really think it's the white people, or you're just in denial of something that you do not want to look
I
into?
remember I once told a person that I'm doing therapy, and the person like literally laughed in my face, and I was like,
Exactly.
"Wow,
They'd be like,
wow, is that how much of a village mindset that we all have?" Like literally, the person laughed in my face as if I told him I've committed murder or something. It was really, really hilarious. But I want us to understand from today on, these hearts of ours are just like some balloons. Yeah. The more we put pressure and continue pressuring and putting pressure and putting pressure, it reaches a point and it will explode. And the explode will not come because of the last push you pushed, but because of the first push that was
the
pushed.
cumulative ones.
So
Yeah.
the more we push and push and push and push, it becomes bigger and bigger. Until we know it, it will be too late. The balloon will have long lasted. So it was a very wonderful discussion we've had today.
I loved
I
it.
just want to understand that. To make sure that you have picked up some things here and there. Could you give me some of the key highlights that you think you can
Well,
out of this conversation?
I've come to understand that, well, from you, I don't know if it applies, but since you're a guy, I believe it will apply to the majority of them. I've come to understand that men open up to someone they trust, and they prefer to open up when the other person has opened up. So, meaning, someone must really lay the ground, make them comfortable to do that. And it also comes with how much they trust you and if they can trust you even after that. And of course, it all goes back to love. We talked about love somewhere in between. I think we shall have a deeper conversation on that. For now, we shall stop there. But then I think my major takeaway is we should really understand and look at men as humans, not just as men, not just as providers, not just as people that are supposed to be strong. Yes, men are physically strong, and some people say they are emotionally strong, but I believe women are more emotionally strong. But that does not mean that because a man is a provider or he's physically strong, he does not have to be vulnerable to break down. So it all comes to us taking the initiative to take men as humans and understand that they have emotions, they can express emotions, and it's okay for them to express emotions.
Wow. There you have it, guys. Can you please sign out before?
It was so nice having you guys. Thank you. And as I said, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're seeing us. We wish you a lovely lifetime.
Wow. Okay. So as you have all heard, you have all got to know some things, some new things that you never knew about, and I hope you enjoyed this. For those that enjoyed it, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and don't forget to
Share.
comment. Thank you very much. We love you.